Good morning. It is 7:28 a.m. on Monday, February 1st, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I've sort of been up for a little while, kind of poking around, moving slow. My original plan was to go into the office today, but I decided that because we're getting a big snowstorm today, it hasn't started yet, but it should any minute. Decided, you know what? I don't actually have to be at the office today. I could accomplish what I need to do there tomorrow once the snow is, on the tail end rather than the start. And yeah, so I decided that that was the smart play. And so what that meant is that getting up early enough to go into the office, but then not planning to go to the office, gave me a little extra time to just sort of laze about. Rocket is a good boy. He's just over there on the floor doing stretches and being the silly little short-legged dog. Um, Gosh, now I've lost my train of thought. I did just watch on Twitter a little cartoon that sort of just reflected someone going out into the world and helping people, but kind of ultimately being weighed down by kind of having a tendency to take the pain from others onto themselves. And then eventually at the end they return to their home and they have a dog who manages to take all that weight away without having to bear it himself. And it's just this reflection of dogs with their unconditional love and sweetness and affection. Is dogs are pretty great. I'm a fan. Like I can certainly, understand there are people for whom dogs don't have that, don't give you that sort of emotional feeling. Whether people just like didn't grow up with dogs or if they had a bad experience with dogs. Like, I get that, but boy, just for me, dogs are great. They're so good. And yeah, I'm glad I have one. It's interesting actually just to think about how, like all things considered, the last year with the pandemic and everything, I've been pretty lucky in the sense that I haven't had anyone close to me get sick. I have a job that I can mostly work from home without too much difficulty, and when I do have to go in, they take it seriously, and so I haven't felt like I had to put myself at too much risk to do that. I'm someone that has always been able to entertain myself when on my own, almost to a fault, meaning just sometimes I don't go out even when it would be good for me, which just means that I'm sort of equipped to kind of know how to entertain myself when I'm stuck at home. And so, like, I think all things considered, I've been luckier than many in this last year. That said, I think having a dog has been extremely helpful. When I had Luna for a long time and really loved her, even though like towards the end for her when she was dealing with all her medical problems, like that was, you know, very painful and stressful. But you know, nonetheless, I when I was without a dog for a little while, I mean, to one extent, that there's an added level of freedom in the sense that I don't have to worry about taking care of this other creature in my house. I can go and do whatever I want without having to think about like, oh gosh, but I've got to get home in time to feed the dog. I don't have to get up early when it's cold outside and take the dog outside, right? Like there's like having a dog and caring for a dog is a lot of work and responsibility. And so when you don't have a dog, you have that degree of freedom to you. But it's definitely one of those things for me where the the upside is more than worth the responsibility. Now that wouldn't be true for everybody, but it is for me. And so I've got a great little dog, and he, likes to cuddle, and he's very sweet. And gosh, I'm just talking about how much I love dogs today, because I do. Dogs are great. All right, I'm going to leave it there, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.